Hey everybody! Koricon Nerd here, and this is my reaction of Dhaka Attack. The official trailer came out. Now, it took me a while to get to this one. As a lot of you know, I've been working two jobs and things are getting behind, but I'm trying my best to keep up. Had to do some videos that were more currently relevant. Anyway, I'm trying to catch up on some trailers. There are a lot that I have to do and movie reviews and stuff. But we did the teaser. I thought it looked interesting. I wanted to check out the trailer, so thank you guys for sending it to me on comments on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and stuff. I really appreciate it. You guys are excited for this movie, to say the least. So let's check out Dhaka Attack. I do have English subtitles, and then we'll go through it afterwards. That was a cool shot. CG on that didn't look quite that great.
আমরা যদি ব্যর্থ হই তাহলে দেশ ব্যর্থ হবে। এমনও তো হতে পারে কেউ হয়তো পুলিশ ডিপার্টমেন্টকে কোনো ইঙ্গিত দিচ্ছে।
I do like the fact that it's more of a detective story than an action film.
আমার এই পিস্তল দিয়ে যদি কেউ খুন হয় তাহলে তার দায় ভার কার? আমার। আর তোর চুরি করা গাড়িতে যদি কেউ খুন হয় সেই দায় ভার তোর। এই 11 খুনের আসামি এখন তুই।
আজ শহরটা কিছুক্ষণের জন্য থেমে থাকবে, কোনো অশুভ শক্তিকে থামানোর জন্য। ওকে,
I hope they don't do too much of that handheld. See, that looks good. They kept it still for those. I like the greens. Was that a kid?
স্থিতিশীলতা বিনষ্টের চেষ্টা কে করছে? কোন রাজনৈতিক দল নাকি কোন জঙ্গি গোষ্ঠী?
যারা এই ঘটনার পেছনে আছে তাদের আমরা খুঁজে বের করবই। চোরকে ধরতে হলে চোরের মতো।
It's pretty good thriller music. I like that.
এই কেসে যেখানেই যা সেখানেই কেন?
Some really interesting shots, like they're trying out a lot of angles and camera placements. Kablooey!
I've been planning this for a long time.
Good villains make a movie. All right, so let's go back to some of this. I am liking, like you see in this whole montage sequence right here, pen, all of the papers everywhere. He's looking at the stuff, and then later on they showed, like they're looking at the newspaper clippings, and they've got the crime scenes going on. It's very much of a detective crime thriller, and I like those kind of movies. I think movies that try to go too action heavy on a crime thriller kind of take away from the mystery aspect. And I like watching them try and figure out how to catch the bad guy, or who the bad guy is, or how this happened. I like that whole revealing. It's like opening a present very slowly, and you get little bits and pieces throughout the film, and you're kind of along for the ride trying to figure it out yourself. I like that kind of film. I do like those. It does have some song and dance they showed later on, which is fine. And there are quite a few action shots, but it seems like a lot of them are contained in the same part of the story. So you'll see him, like they show him on the motorcycle or on the car. It looks like there's probably, I would guess, 4 or 5 action sequence setups, which is perfectly fine, especially with the, the guy blowing stuff up. Now, there was a scene later on, it looked like, so in this whole sequence, so you've got the boat, some of these are handheld shots, but in this sequence, the handheld looks pretty good. It's fairly stable. There are a lot of rigs as well. They're using the handheld for things like when they're storming in a building or when they're running or chasing somebody, but then they keep the camera still for things like this that you don't need it. But they got some different camera angles. Like this is a pretty standard camera angle, but this is not. They've rigged it onto the military, I don't know if I would call it a tank, but military police vehicle. And then they have the close-up of the door swinging open. That's a unique shot. This one's fairly standard. Things like this, they're odd up angles, but this one seems pretty standard. So it seems like they're cutting between standard directing and then experimenting with different camera angles and camera rigs, and they're kind of playing around with it, which is interesting. It's cool as long as those experiments don't distract from the story. Which I don't think it will, because a lot of the story is going to be the mystery aspect or the detective work. Cinematography and lighting look okay. Look pretty good. I do like the color schemes. Pretty bright, vibrant colors here. The greens look really good, especially like this. The greens look great. I mean, look how great all of that green and the white looks. Like, it's great looking shot. And then when you've got, the night shots look pretty good. I think they could have been a little bit better lit. But I mean, you still see everything, so that's perfectly fine. One of the things I'm concerned about is when they showed, I think it was the first explosion. So this explosion right here, it's obviously CG. I'm assuming it's because of the budget. They're not going to have the biggest budget, and that's fine. But if you're going to use CG for the explosions, do very minimal. It would be better to do practical explosions. And it seemed like a lot of the explosions were practical. Even if it's an overlay, it'd still look better if it's practical. Now, there was an explosion later on. Here it is. So this explosion here, boom, it looked like a kid. Is that a kid blowing something up? It could be a backflash of our main character, this guy. So it may be a backflash from Arifin. Like maybe he got into explosions as a young child or something like that. That could be it. It just seemed out of place and odd that there was a kid blowing something up. So I think it's probably a backflash. He's talking about, how he got interested in explosions and being a bomb expert or something like that. But yeah, I do like the fact that it's a detective story. I think that aspect is would bring me to the movie more than the action sequences. I want to see a very smart storyline with some great reveals throughout, some good detective work, and I want to be able to see it in the story on screen so that when I get to the end of the film, if I haven't figured it out already, that I could go back and see all of the clues that would take you to that. I don't want to see any jumps in logic or reveals of something at the end of the movie that wasn't touched on in the beginning of the movie. So I want a good storyline on the detective side. But what do you guys think? Comment below and let me know your thoughts on this trailer. Do you like it? Do you not? What are your positives? What are your negatives? Let's talk about it in the comments, but keep it civil down there. If you want to check out my links, they're all in the description below. Everything is in there. If you're on VidMe, upvote this, give me a follow and share it around. If you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you on the next video.